From Winnipeg, Manitoba, the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival presents Does This Joke Make Me Look Fat? Starring Andrew Grose, Ryan Belleville, Dana Alexander, Big Daddy Tazz, Carla Collins, Mrs. Hughes, Pete Johansson, and your host, Nikki Payne. Now please welcome a woman whose jokes are always fat with money, Nikki Payne!
Are you ready to rock the roof off this bitch, Winnipeg? I am one sexy bitch tonight! Welcome to the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. The show is called Does This Joke Make Me Look Fat? It better be no. It's all about bodies and body image and all that crap, but we don't like to talk about certain parts of the body, do we? There's certain parts that we don't like talking about. We get all worked up and like, you don't talk about the dirty parts and the dirty, okay, you don't talk about them, you don't touch them, they don't exist. You don't talk about them. I had a woman ask me one time, kind of smugly, she was like, why do comedians like to talk about intercourse so much? Why not? It's awesome! I love intercourse! Let's hear it for intercourse! Intercourse! It's nothing to be ashamed of. All of us are here because of intercourse. There's nothing wrong. I think the reason is that we're ashamed. We're ashamed because for all the political and technological advances we've made over the years, no matter how high and mighty we think we are as a human race, we still do it like monkeys. The body's amazing. It does amazing things. Vaginas fart. That's amazing. I didn't believe it. A friend of mine told me vaginas fart. I was like, vaginas don't fart. That's awesome. That's a cry for freedom from your vagina. It's like it's saying, you can cover me up with layers of clothes, but you can't shut me up. Folks, are you ready to get this party started? They say when men move into middle age, their graying hair makes them look distinguished. Please welcome a man with a very distinguished chest, back, and groin area. Andrew Grose!
I don't remember the microphone being that far away in rehearsal. Holy. What can I tell you that you haven't already noticed, folks? I'm out of shape, I'm overweight, and I'm lazy. Hey? Not alone, though, am I, sir? I didn't mean to pick you out. It's just you looked friendly and agreeable. Fat people always are. I'm one of you, sir. We're the majority. Neither of us wants to be overweight, out of shape, lazy. No. But we are the majority, and you know why? 50 years. I just turned 50 last week. Hey, folks, 50 years old. Yeah, don't applaud that. Don't applaud that. I'm not happy about it. I've been eating processed food for 50 years. I have a body by Cheese Whiz, for Christ's sake. Here's the thing. I'm not happy. I don't want to be 50, out of shape, overweight, and lazy. I don't want that. If I could wave a wand. Wow, that was a lot of exercise right there. If I could make a wish, I wouldn't be 50, out of shape, overweight, and lazy. I'll tell you what I'd be. I'd be 80, out of shape, overweight and lazy because nobody judges you when you're 80. I could buy a motorized scooter. Big red flag on the back, left turn signal on at all times. Big basket in the front for my donuts. Nobody's gonna judge that guy. They'd be like, oh, geez, look at the old guy. Good for him, he's still able to go out and get his own donuts. Good for him. You can't do that when you're 50. You don't get judged the same way. I start running around on scooters like, what the hell? What's that out of shape, overweight, lazy bastard doing? Get off welfare, eh? And the reason they judge is because they don't know me. They don't know I've tried. I have tried to lose weight. I've tried everything except diet and exercise. I've come to the conclusion, folks, and I hate to get upset, I've come to the conclusion the only way I could possibly lose any significant amount of weight and keep it off would be to cut off my legs. And I wouldn't need them if I had a motorized scooter. And people wouldn't judge me. They'd be like, oh, look at the legless guy. He's still able to go out and get his own donuts. Good for him. I'll tell you what else. I'm not only out of shape physically. I am out of shape mentally. I lack focus. I can't do things that I used to be able to do, like phone sex. I used to love phone sex with my wife. You know, I'd be in a place like Winnipeg, I'd phone her up from the hotel. I loved it, and I'll tell you why I loved it, because when you're having phone sex, you don't have to turn off the hockey game, and that's a good thing. Right, but you've got to be able to focus. You need to concentrate. You don't want to make a mistake at a critical point in the game with the call. You know, oh, baby, if you were in Winnipeg right now, yeah, Winnipeg, if you were in... I would turn down the lights in the bedroom there in the hotel. I'd throw you down on that big king-size bed I've got there, eh? And then I'd get you wedged out of them stretchy pants. Hey. Oh, yeah. And then I'd shoot! Yeah. And you know, as much as I love my family annoys me now. I have no patience. You know, my patience is gone. The other day, 7:30 in the morning, my daughter wakes me up, eh? And that's actually not even true. She just stood by the bed breathing, eh? Because kids are, what's the word? Creepy. She just stood by the bed. I woke up, you know, I'm an old man. Don't wake me up this way. I woke up, oh, geez, what are you doing? These are the first words I heard, eh? I've missed my school bus. I'm like, what? I've missed my school bus. And like most dads, eh? Dads, I'm just laying in the darkness now, you know, trying to figure out exactly how that affects me. Really? What the hell are you telling me for? Well, you gotta drive me to school. Like, oh, geez, yeah, totally makes sense when you explain it. I'm driving her over to the school. I haven't brushed my teeth, washed my face, combed my hair. I got a cigarette dangling out of my mouth I can't light because I have a 13-year-old daughter in the car, little Maddie, hey? And when I get to the high school, does she get out? No, she decides she should lecture me. You're out of shape. You're overweight. You smoke. All those things could kill you. And we wouldn't have you when we needed you in an emergency. Yeah, nothing else has worked, folks, but I'll tell you what, that hit me like a ton of bricks. If you have that one moment in your life that changes the rest of your life, you're lucky, and that was my moment. Because right then and there, I thought, you know what? Starting immediately, eh? I am not driving this bitch anywhere. You guys have been great. Thank you very much for letting me drop by.
Up next comes the adult lessons of Ryan Belleville's adolescence on the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
Going to tell you what it's like to me to be an awkward teen or whatever, and that's how a teenager would introduce him. No, actually, a teen would just text message you. Please welcome my Facebook friend, Ryan Belleville.
right. The sweet peg. Oh, look at you. You're gorgeous. It's all about, like, image today. And I don't have the best self-image. I'm really feeling bad because I just got a haircut yesterday, and that can ruin everything. Everything. Because it started. Every haircut starts badly with me. It does. I look in the mirror at my face, and I go, ugh. Ugh. All of you have done the same thing. You're like, ugh. I need a haircut. That's the problem. And then you call somebody and you show up and I tell the guy what I want. I say, I'd like this. Could you do that? And they nod, not listening to a word I say. If you tell a guy what you want, they just look at you. They're like, yeah, I'm giving you the number 6. Obviously, dude. I know you're saying stuff, but I looked at your face and your fat face says number 6. You look like a hobbit. You get the Hobbit special. You get the Frodo cut. I had bad hair growing up, too. I had a mullet, a little fat kid with a mullet. A mullet is terrible when you're not cool, because it's a cape on your head. You should be awesome. You should be awesome with a cape on your head. It's like you're a superhero, but my only power was not seeing vaginas. That was it. That was the first and last power I had. Adolescence just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was the worst. I was a happy little kid, and then just kablooey. It blew up. It went awful. One day I was happy. Let's talk, oh, He-Man, hooray, toys. And then next thing you're talking like this. Voice like that. Oil's pouring out of your face. Oil is just seeping out of your face. What possible need could there be for that? I understand what happens to women with puberty. You get like bang, you get little baby snack cannons coming off of your chest. Yes, that's awesome, and it makes sense. Oily face, not at all. Not at all. Unless like 30,000 years ago, teenagers had to hide from saber-toothed tigers by squeezing into cracks. Thankfully, I'm oily enough. There's no reason for it. None. Oily. It's so oily. Like, it's like the tar sands of Alberta. Like, literally, newfies are showing up at your face like, hey, buddy, is this where I work now? It's tough. Your body's just exploded, and you were so happy as a child. You were so happy. Everything was beautiful when you were a little kid. Bedtime stories. That's what you get when you're a child, and they all start once upon a time. Once upon a time. It's a great way to start a story, isn't it? Once upon a time. You hear that, you know you just heard a great story. How do they all end? Happily ever after. Happily ever after. You hear that, you know you just heard a great story, because that's a great way to end a story. You know what's not a great way to end a story? And then the sea turtle bit my nutsack. That story did not begin with once upon a time. That story began with, let me tell you about the day I got banned from PetSmart. Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. Everyone hates the gym. Here's why I hate the gym. Ladies, I don't know what goes on in women's change rooms. I don't wanna know. I like to keep that up to my imagination. I would like to believe that you walk in and there's a field of fresh-cut clovers. As you walk in and there's a centaur in the corner playing a doo-doo-doo little pan flute. Greeting you in rhyme, hello, my lady, you look great to me. Pilates, it begins at 3. And ladies, you just go, and you disrobe, your clothes fall. You feel the clovers beneath your toes. And there's no toilets, just a babbling brook that runs through the center. And that's where ladies make their business. Oh, There's no toilet paper either, just 1,000 butterflies come down. It's not like that in men's change rooms. You should never be able to taste a room. Think of how horrible 2 men smell after 15 minutes alone together. Multiply that by 1 trillion and add a soupçon of dead cat, and that's... The upsetting thing to me is that there's penises everywhere. There's people who go to the gym just to have their penises out. Old guys in, like, nice button-up shirts with it just flapping out, doing a Sudoku. They're everywhere. And they're not, like, I'm not saying they're magnificent penises either. There's, like, I'd understand if it was a magnificent penis. It was giant and, wow, magical. like just awesome, then fine, have it out. You should be able to pull it out all the time. Really, you should be able to pull that out at the bank, and they'll be like, whoa, no mortgage payment this year, sir. Good for you. But they're scary, and they're uncircumcised. Those are the scary ones to me, because they're like, look like they're wearing a mask, like, yeah, come on, I'm here to rob the stagecoach. Give me your money, I'm a penis. My penis is treated like a kidnap victim. That's how I treat it. It's pants off, pants on. Oh my God, where am I? I tried to count the turns. And if they do catch a glimpse of my penis for a second, I at least have the dignity not to, I'm not going like, hey, yeah. I'm sitting there going, yeah, it's not a very good one, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Winnipeg. It's been a pleasure performing for you tonight.
Performer is proof that beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors. In other words, she's a big black woman. Let's give it up for Dana Alexander!
All right, Winnipeg! Fantastic. Where are my cougars at, cougars? All right. She put up her hand. Most of them are just laying in wait, so I don't give up their location. I'm kind of confused even just about the word cougar. It seems so negative. I feel like we need to change the word cougar to hero. Role model. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I saw a 50-year-old woman with a 25-year-old man. The only thing she was missing was a pimp suit. That is the only thing. Oh my God, I'm at that weird age where I'm not yet a cougar, but I'm just a little too old for the dance club. You know when you're at the dance club, doing it up, you look at the door, some little kid you used to babysit comes in. Just like, let me get my shawl and get out of here. I'm a little too tall, too. I get so excited when I see men over 6'2", 220 pounds. I'm just like, my size, my size. But I always attract these little tiny ones. You see them from across the way, you think they might be the right height, but then they get closer. And closer, and then they look at you like they're gonna climb a mountain, just like, yeah! I'm like, you can't have what you can't reach. That's why the cookies are on the top shelf. So my home's in Toronto for a little bit there. You gotta love the diversity in Toronto. One of my favorite things to do when I'm in Toronto, I like to walk behind people on the street and guess their nationality by their ass. Am I the only one who does this? Some asses are easy. You always know black ass, hey? Black ass can't hide. You're like upstairs, like 9 floors. They're in a winter jacket. You're like, that's black ass. I got tricked though. I saw a black guy with white ass. Have you seen this? Don't laugh. It's very sad. It's like a playground with no children. I don't know if black ass is any better. I have black ass myself. Anytime I try on certain underwear shorts, my ass is just like, panties. Ah! I tried on a thong, my ass was just like, burp, yummy. It's delicious. Make some noise if you're mixed race, Winnipeg. All right. And it doesn't count if you're Irish and Scottish. That shit doesn't count. My little sister's mixed race. She's half black, half white. The last time I talked to her, she's like, oh my God, Dana. I hate Stacy. She just got red streaks. She only got red streaks because I got red streaks. She's just trying to copy me. I'm like, Rebecca, do you know you're black? She's like, yeah, we're Jamaican. Winnipeg, you guys have been fantastic. Take care, have a good night.
Coming up, Nikki Payne mentions her unmentionables. The CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival continues.
dress up. And what I'm realizing is the crap that you gotta wear underneath a pretty dress to make the dress pretty is anything but. I'm wearing Spanx. Do you know what Spanx are? You're kind of young, so you probably don't know what they are yet, because when you take your bra off, your boobs stay where they're supposed to be. That doesn't last. One day you pop it off and it's... What Spanx are basically a sausage casing. Okay, you pull out and you haul up over your arse, right? But it's about this big and it's gotta go over something this big. And you're yanking and you're pulling and you're yanking and you're pulling and finally you get it up here and it molds your body into something that's doable. So I got the Spanx on, right? And it took an hour to yank the SOB up over my butt, right? And that's when I gotta pee. It just took me an hour to pull this goddamn thing up over me, right? I'm not sure. I will piss myself at this point. I will smell like a homeless man, but I'm not taking this off. But the Spanx people, they thought of something, right? They They made these little flaps. These little piss flaps. Nothing dignified about them. There's no buttons, there's no Velcro, there's no snaps. It's just a curtain. It's like a beige curtain that you open up and your angry vagina's just scowling back at you. So you gotta hike because you got the dress, you got no hands to hold the dress. So you gotta hook that. Sometimes I just wrap it around my neck while I'm holding the piss flaps open. And that's when I gotta look at myself in the mirror. I was anything but pretty. I looked a lot like that hobbit that nobody liked. Go till you're ready to keep this party going! Most comedians can be Googled, but this comic said he knew that he had a weight problem the day he learned he could be Google Earthed. Please welcome Big Daddy Tazz!
Thank you. You know, the other night I had a heckler yell out, "You're fat!" I didn't respond right away because I thought it was my subconscious. Then I thought, really? That's the best you got? You're fat? I didn't know what to say. I went, "You're right." I know I'm fat. The other day I was digging around on my belly button looking for lint and found a skidoo suit. I know I'm heavy. I had to go to the doctor because I couldn't figure out what was hurting my back. I had no clue what might be throwing my... I had no idea what might be hurting my back. He didn't know either. First thing he did is grab my area. I was flattered if you thought that's what was throwing my back off. Then he tightens up on my area. On my area, tightens up and he goes, "Cough." I freak out. I grab his nipple and twist. I said, "You whistle." "No, you let go." "No, you let go." "No, seriously, you let go." Hey, okay, that was a bad idea. Seriously. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. You weren't going to let go, were you? Okay? 1, 2, 3. Worst dentist ever. You know, the heckle You're fat brought me back to when I was in school, when I got picked on bullies and had to use humor to cover the hurt, you know? At 12 years old, I was probably the biggest kid in class, and it was always, fatty, 2x4, can't get through the kitchen door. Really? What are you, blind? I can get through the kitchen door. Like, school wasn't hard enough. Remember fitness tests? We had to do fitness tests. Remember those? He made me one time, they made me do long jump. Look at me, long jump. Not so much long as deep. People say stuff like, slow down when you eat. Very valid. I've eaten very fast sometimes, and I've bitten my elbow a couple of times. Your body's a temple. No. No, it's not. It's more like a Catholic church having a fall supper. I blamed my weight gain on my hearing. I went to the doctor. He said, you need to have between 4 and 7 servings of protein every day. I heard Putin. A couple weeks into it, my son and I are making a birdhouse together. He goes, Dad, I smell gravy. Do you smell gravy? I looked down, I nicked my thumb. It was delicious. I have 2 sons. I have a 3-year-old and a 16-year-old, because I'm really good at relationships. And both of them love teasing me about my weight. My 3-year-old the other day goes, Daddy, how come you always wear patterned shirts that are 2 sizes too big on you? I go, it's to hide my big belly. He goes, it's not a magic shirt, Daddy. And it doesn't matter when other day, house full of people, house packed full of people. My oldest goes, Dad, how come you always pee all over the toilet seat? I'm like, shut up, there's people here. No, seriously, how come you always pee all over the edge of the toilet seat? Why don't you watch where you pee? Then he comes up and rubs my belly. He's like, oh. Yeah, that's got to be hard. Kind of like trying to drive the truck with the hood up, huh? Here's what I need to tell you. I can't complain too much, though. Because if I wasn't heavy, I wouldn't have got picked on in school. If I wasn't picked on at school, I would never have become a comedian. And you know what I learned? Bullies generally grow up to be bullies. And other people grew up to be the guy that bullies pay $40 each to come see their show. Thank you, man.
Still to come, Carla Collins gives us skinny on being skinny. It's the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
This comic knows only too well about the Hollywood standard of beauty because she can throw up on demand. So let's get her tan, skinny ass on out here. Come on out, Carla Collins!
All right. Loving this crowd. Last week I was in Edmonton performing for 110 white men. And they started to get a little antsy about 10 minutes in, and they're like, geez, this is the worst stripper we've ever hired. So nice. I was all like, I gotta tell you, I was so nervous about the show tonight. I've just been shaking like a chihuahua on meth all day long, but I just had like a fistful of Xanax and a bottle of Pinot Grigio, and I am as smooth as Nicole Kidman's forehead now. Because I am a white woman, and we can combine that shit better than a commercial airline pilot. Am I right? Oh, yeah. That's why we make the best subjects on Intervention. Are you watching The Intervention? Oh my God, I love that show. Is the tits. I love it. Oh, I can't get enough of it. I just like to sit back with a big box of wine, a pack of Benson & Hedges, and give myself little cuts, and then just judge the crap out of everybody on Intervention. You call that bulimia? Listen, can we talk about my breasts? It's really why we're all here. It's a support group, literally. Let me tell you about my breasts. I call them Tom and Katie because they're not for real either. It's really disconcerting because my artificial breasts have become self-aware. I mean, don't they look angry, sir? They look like they just want to debate you, and they'll win. They're feisty, too. They talk like a couple of 1940s femme fatales. It's the weirdest thing. They're just like, hey, we're broads, we're dames, we're tootses. We think you fellas are swell, see? We think we're top drawer. We think you're the cat's pajamas, the bee's knees. But we're not going to put up with a whole lot of malarkey. We're not. That was just a bizarre moment for all of us, because I'm just doing breast... So here's what I want some plastic surgeon to come up with. I want a procedure where a doctor can make my hoo-ha bark. You know, just like, burr, 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 burr. Right? You'd think twice about going in there, wouldn't you, sir? You would. It would be awesome, man. I'd be in total control with the guys. Just be, burr, 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 burr. I'd be, well, she just has to get used to you. Let her sniff your hand. Just let her sniff her hand. You know, it's a rescue vagina. Abused by a previous owner. Just give her a bone. Thank you so much, Winnipeg.
Menopause is no big deal, and now here to tell us why a premenopausal woman should never write an introduction for a postmenopausal woman, it's the sexy Mrs. Hughes.
Hi, everyone. Now, is this blocking your view? I am so glad to be back in Winnipeg. I really admire you women that live here in the cold, because you're very brave, because you're outside, it's freezing cold, you go inside, it's nice and warm. Then you go outside and it's freezing cold, and you come inside and it's nice and warm. Then you go outside and get in the car, it's nice and warm, and then you get out and it's freezing cold. I got here Thursday, my nipples are exhausted. Where are those hot flashes when you need them? My hot flashes were so bad, for a while I thought global warming was my fault. Al Gore followed me for 3 days. So I went to the doctor and he said, you're going through the change of life. Change of life. Girls, remember when you went through puberty, they told you you were becoming a woman? You go through the change of life, they don't tell you what you're becoming. I'm becoming my father. And it seems to me that something is always needing replacing, repairing, or rotated. It's awful. When I get home, I have to go to the gynecologist. I hate that. Primarily because I have to shave my legs. Last time I shaved my legs, I lost 7 pounds. It had really gotten bad. It was shave, braid, or move to Italy. But it's a horrible exam, and why do I have to have it done? I've had everything removed. I'm empty, I'm hollow. What's he looking for? Bits of jewelry, old boyfriends? Jimmy Hoffa? You go into the office and you lay down on a table lined with butcher paper. Butcher paper. And you put your feet in stirrups. I've had my feet in more stirrups than John Wayne. And my doctor has puppets on the stirrups. Big green frog puppets. with big bulging eyes. And they're looking right at the lily pad. You lay there, then the nurse comes in, and she says, scoot down. Am I right? Scoot, scoot, till you're bent like a pretzel. And then what does she do? She leaves you there to wait for the doctor to get his implements out of the refrigerator. One of which looks like those things my grandfather used to put in his shoes. And while you're laying there all scrunched up, you have a decision to make. Do you fart now and stink up the room? Or do you wait and fart in his face? He chose the job. Finally, the doctor comes in. Yes, he rolls up on that little stool. He's got on the miner's helmet, the canary. The bird's looking peaked. And he starts to chat. What is that all about? It just amazes me. I can't understand what he's saying because of the echo. I finally figured out what he was saying. He said, how old a woman are you, miss? Oh my God, that was funny. I said, well, I'm in my mid-50s. I'm 63. He said, what? He said, read my lips. I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me back.
Next up, Pete Johansson gives the gals a guy's guide to female bodies when the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival continues.
Do men understand women and their body issues? Some do, but they're usually already spoken for by another man. Here with some straight talk on women's bodies, it's Pete Johansson.
I'm going to talk a little bit about women. I don't want you to think that I'm not going to talk about myself, too, because that'd be kind of a jerk move. I will be addressing me. I just envy women in a lot of ways, especially getting older. When women get older, you talk to each other about any change that happens on your body. I find that amazing. Anything weird happens. Oh, my God, did that happen to you? What happened to me? And then drink white wine and work it out. And don't do that. Anything weird happens on our body, we don't tell anybody. Oh, God, I hope that tumor's normal. And we're dead. 6 months later, dead. I don't want to burden my doctor with this information. There's another reason why I think that it's an unfair process that women go through sometimes, and their esteem gets damaged. And there's a biological sort of reason for it, too, that I didn't even know about. And it happened one night. I was high. I apologize. But sometimes when I'm high, I watch television. I was watching a show on the Discovery Channel called The Human Animal with Desmond Morris, a show about anthropology, yeah? Now, I watched this show, and it started talking about the differences between the two genders. Now, I always thought basically we were the same, except I had outdoor plumbing, you had indoor plumbing. Yeah? Why not? This show told me that women's brains actually develop completely different from men. Apparently, in the womb, 3 months in, the female brain is exposed to low doses of estrogen and progesterone, which causes the frontal cortex to start growing at a roughly 1/3 faster rate than the male brain, causing more synapses and axioms to form into clusters, which retain more descriptive language in their vocabulary, so that by age 21, they have roughly 5,500 more words than the average guy. And I was like, holy crap. That is an amazing statistic to land on somebody who's high, because right away I had a breakthrough, you know, one of those moments where, oh, what? And I felt this weight lift off my shoulders, where I realized I don't have to feel bad anymore about not knowing what the hell you're talking about. You have your own language at your disposal. And I'm like, that's incredible. What a gift. What a powerful tool you have. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we must have gotten something as men. And we did. We were given a special skill called this: spatial conception and three-dimensional rotation. I thought, what can I do with that? Fight crime? Here's what we can do. We can go through a box of bolts, right? And go, hey, look at that bolt. And then go through a box of nuts and go, hey, look at that nut. Huh. I bet those two fit together. That's it. But there's one activity that I find hilarious and funny and unfortunate that you, because of spatial conception, have a problem with, and it's getting dressed. And you go, what are you talking about? Because of spatial conception, I've never met a girl that can tell what fits until they actually attempt to try it on. Now, the worst situation for this is when you're getting ready for a special event, though, like a Christmas party or a staff party, and you want to look your best. And we'll be getting dressed in the room with you. Oh my God, I've watched women get ready and they're getting, they go through that closet trying to find that perfect dress, and they're like, oh my God, I forgot about this one. And they'll show it to you and they're so excited, I'm gonna wear this tonight. Now what sucks about that moment when we're in the room with you is I'll be 15 feet away and I can clearly see that ain't gonna fit. But I don't have enough words to tell you I'm left in the position of having to lie and go, oh yeah, try that on, that'll look great. Because it's funny to watch you try on a dress that doesn't fit. I know that sounds awful, but it's funny because you start off happier, yay! Because it always fits over your arms, yay! But then the happy goes away when the entire dress is in one ball above your breast. And this confusion sets, what's going on? What is this? What is this? And then you try to bring us into it. Baby, is it caught on something back there? Can you see? And that's a trick question right there. Because you can't be honest. Yeah, big roll. You don't feel that? Everything in my brain says that dress shouldn't fit. But once in a while, you'll make it fit. Have you ever watched a girl make a dress fit? It's amazing. You'll do things that I've never had to do getting dressed, like you'll bend your knees. Oh, that's not weird, Peter. A lot of people bend their knees. Yeah, but the entire dress is above your breasts. And then you'll start breathing. Are you going pearl diving? And you do this move. I love this move, and I know you've seen this move where you'll cup the bottom of the breast. Yeah, right over there. And you hold the dress, and it all comes together in this Cirque du Soleil move where you jump, breathe out, push the tit in. The tit disappears through Stargate. I don't know where the tit goes. Pull the dress down and the tit reappears. Where did you learn that? I have giant balls. I don't have a move like that. Folks, you guys have been great. My name's Pete Johansson. Thank you very much.
Friends.